Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:01. Welcome to The Lock Shop on a Tuesday. Thank you very much for being here today. And lots to get to. Lots to get to in The Lock Shop today. Has Rivers been officially signed to the practice squad? Did he really? They were going to give him a workout today. Big Yuga saying that I was looking at that just a few moments ago. When did they announce that? 7 minutes ago. Breaking, Philip Rivers signing with the Colts practice squad. All right, it's happening. It's happening. We'll get Huss's thoughts on that when he joins us. We'll get his thoughts on the Monday Nighter. He was fully cheering for the Eagles last night. And, of course, Jalen Hurts has to throw 4 interceptions. So that's a tough look. That is a tough look. Lock Shop and all of Edmonton Sports Talk is brought to you by Play Alberta. If you've not yet used our codes this month, please do. EST Sports, deposit 50, get a $50 free bet. And if you have not used YAG 50, deposit 50, get a $50 free bet as well. On top of that, if you want to dabble in the casino, EST Casino, deposit 50, get a $50 to play with over there as well. All right, so Philip Rivers has signed. A very interesting development there to the practice squad. We'll see where it goes from here. He must have looked okay. Not a complete write-off in his workout earlier today. Over on the EST Specials page right now at Play Alberta. Download the Play Alberta app. Click EST Specials as well. Plus 540 for the Reed Wilkins Trent Frederick goal play of the day. That is still sitting up there. The early bird bet from earlier in the day, if you got it at almost 15-1, I believe they have voided it because it was a significant error on their part. So it's back up. It's there's some people got it at 5, some people got it at 4. It's now at plus 350. That's the early bird bet. Oilers minus 1.5, McDavid over 1.5 points, Hyman point, Draisaitl point, Boosh point. That's a plus 350. And then I threw up this one for Dusty's play of the day. You might have saw it on Twitter a little bit earlier on. Connor McDavid power play point tonight. It was plus 135. It is now plus 148. Oilers power play has been, red hot, absolutely on fire. So I like their chances of burying one of the power play tonight. And if they do, Connor McDavid, Connor McDavid's going to be in on it. Like, it's as simple as that. I'd be shocked. So plus 148 on the McDavid power play point, which I do really like tonight as well. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. And we'll get a few of those text messages, work our way through the show. All right, we are back on the Lock Shop. Huss is going to be joining us right away. Thank you very much for being here. Lock Shop was not canceled, but oh my God, do I have an update for you. Before we get to, and look, you can take this for what it's worth. I'm just going to lay out the facts here from what I saw. Okay, so we're cruising along. We're doing the Lock Shop. It's going great. Laying out all of our bets. Huss is going to join us right away. And then it goes dark in here. It goes dark in the main studio. So I get up. I thought it was dark in the whole office. I walk out. There's still lights on in other rooms in the office. And I think, this is interesting. So I walk over to where our electrical panel is. And who do I catch red-handed at the electrical panel? None other than Matthew Iwanek, with a few breakers turned off, I guess including the one to our very own studio, shutting down the Lock Shop mid-Lock Shop. So then I said, Matty, did you kill the power to the Lock Shop? And he says, it was Gager. Gager was trying to plug in a new appliance in the kitchen and ended up tripping a few of the breakers. So, that being said, so it was you too. What were you guys plugging in? A kettle and an air fryer at the same time into the same one? Wow, something happened. Anyway, Iwanek says it was on him and on Gager, but it's a nice plot twist in the continued battle of who's supporting and who's not supporting the Lock Shop. So there's that going for us today. Oh, by the way, also while we were gone, Cody Fajardo signed with the Elks. Number 11 on the CFL top 30 free agent list. So Cody Fajardo is going to be back, got another year, and he'll be the man at the helm of the Double E for another season. All right, let's bring in Huss. Let's see if Huss, can you believe that I found Iwanek by the electrical panel when the power goes out to the Lock Shop studio?
It was a sabotage.
Exactly.
I put it in the chat. I was wondering what's going on. And by the way, before, like YTT could be involved in this too.
Oh,
because I was sitting here for probably a good 4 or 5 minutes just with the wheels spinning, not letting me in. I mean, this is now an organized attack on this program.
Trev, do you hear this? Huss is putting you as a culprit in all of this as well.
Accomplice of Iwanek.
You're an accomplice.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Because you didn't let him in. You sitting there waiting for 4 or 5 minutes?
I apologize, Huss. I don't want to be in your bad books. You're the best. Come on.
Anyway, so that's the latest. It's a big conspiracy to try to shut down the Lock Shop. Multiple things. This is like when they shot Kennedy, man. This is pretty much the same type of thing. That's what I think.
This will not prevent us. This will not prevent us. Hey, quick Lock Shop shout out to our guy, Big Maple. Maple served me up a beauty MMA winner on the weekend.
Ooh.
With plus 180 when he sent me the DM. I went and checked the odds. It was up to plus 210. I said, Maple, I'm still riding. I don't care if the public is fading this. I don't care if the number's going up. In fact, I bring it on, and then I get the message. First round KO for our guys. So anyway, shout out to Iwanek. Shout out to Big Maple, not to Iwanek. Iwanek's in the bad books right now, apparently, from trying to shut down the show.
Well, I see Iwanek over on the in the chat there. Says, who's hosting the Lock Shop on Thursday? Question mark. And it will be Matthew Iwanek on Thursday. But here's the reason why. I have a pretty significant meeting with one of our bigger clients to continue to propel Edmonton Sports Talk in general for another year. I mean, what I was supposed to be blamed for running a business? You know, sometimes you got to meet with the client when they're available.
We may need a mediation tomorrow with before I want to kind of get going on Thursday. We'll see. Actually, Maddie and I are cool. This is more stirring it up of the internal beef within EST.
Well, yeah. See, now Maddie says you could always schedule things for after the Lock Shop, but it's always during. Look, I didn't pick this meeting. They replied to me and said, can you meet at 11 o'clock? So then I asked Maddie and Glue Guy, I said, can you guys do Lock Shop if I can only do this meeting at 11? That's how it works in the meeting business. This is what we need to realize. Anyway, let's move along. Hush, you wanted the Eagles. You were cheering for the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts throws 4 interceptions to hurt the Chiefs' playoff chances just a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I what can I say? I had tried to twist my mind into thinking that a Charger loss last night could be the springboard to a disastrous final quarter of season for them. They're good. They're 9-4. It's going to take a freaking miracle, a legitimate miracle for the Chiefs to get in. So, I mean, whatever. If I can still even pull out cockamamie what ifs in 2 weeks, I would appreciate it. But it's probably next year. However, our big question yesterday now, confirm with me, Dusty, the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding is
June 13th.
And that's for sure.
June 13th, 2026.
All right. Well, then, and again, of course, we were first on this, Lock Shop and WST. I can tell you right now that Zach Collaros will be there. Check the schedule out. And I'm only half joking that the CFL did this to make sure that he could be there. Because let's face it, it'll be good for the CFL if Zach Collaros is in all the pictures and they're, Winnipeg Blue Bomber quarterback there with Jason and Travis on the big day.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers play Thursday, June 11th at home. Easy for Zach to pack up after that and head to the big wedding.
Into the bye.
Into a bye week.
Yes.
Oh,
like this
wow.
is they have 2 weeks from that home game against the Ticats until we're back at home against the Edmonton Elks. So I think it is safe to say that the CFL will be represented at the biggest wedding of the century on the 13th of June in parts unknown, wherever it is. Do we know?
This would be a good test to see how close Collaros and Travis Kelce are. Like, will he be one of his groomsmen? Or is he just sort of invited to the wedding?
Can he be a groomsman if he doesn't get there until late on the day before the wedding?
Fair question. I mean, I don't know how it works with celebrity groomsmen. You know, maybe it's different than with everyday average Joe, our buddies as groomsmen. You know, like, I don't know. That's a good question. Look at you. You're already asking great wedding questions, Huss. You really are.
Believe me, for someone with so little experience in them, I do have many queries.
Okay, just because we're on CFL schedule here, then we'll come back around. I want to take an early look at some Week 15 lines. I'll talk about Phillip Rivers getting on the practice squad of the Colts. But Huss, what do you think? Any general thought? Did you dive into the CFL schedule much? Any general thoughts? Because it's 3 teams with a bye in week 1, and then 3 teams with a bye in week 2, which I don't know if it was like that. I know there was 3 week 2 byes, I think, last year, but was there 3 week 1 byes last year as well? It just seems weird to only have 3 games in week 1. Here, I'll look right now. 2025, there was 4 games in week 1. 4 games in week 2, 4 games in week 3. The first 3-game week wasn't until week 6. This year, we start with back-to-back 3-game weeks.
I mean, maybe it sort of makes sense in that if, we are moving the season up earlier, you're thinking that maybe getting it into June for most of the home dates would be better. It's the only thing I can think of is that they want the majority of the game dates to be played within the majority of the season. Like, what about the last week of the season? When are the other
week 21 is a 4-game week. Week 20 is a 4-game week. Week 19 is a 4-game week. Week 18 is a 4. This is good news for fantasy, actually. Week 16 is a 3-game week. And that's it. So that's the only other 3-game week. So week 1, week 2, and week 16 are 3-game weeks.
Okay. And the Bombers are the week 16. That's after the home and home against Saskatchewan.
How about the quadruple header, Huss? Did you see that one? There's a quadruple header. The Labor Day rematch games, the weekend after Labor Day, quadruple header on Saturday.
That's
11
amazing.
a.m., Ottawa, Toronto. 2 p.m., Sask at Winnipeg. 5 p.m., Calgary at Edmonton. 8 p.m., Montreal at BC.
That is phenomenal. That's got to be the first time in CFL history.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a little note on that. It did have a little note on it on the CFL website. The old quadruple header.
At least with them all being standalone games.
Yeah, there's no overlap. It's just straight up 4 games back to back to back to back. Week 15 features a full 4-game slate. The day opens to Toronto, followed by 2 rematches of Labor Day Classics. The games mark the league's first quadruple header since 1995. So you got to go back to 95 to find the last quadruple header. So that would be, I'd be calling a game.
Yeah.
Rod will be
95.
calling a game. Marshall will be calling a game. And Farhan, I guess, would be calling a game. So we'll all be, I don't even know if we have enough crews to do 4 games in one day.
I'm pretty sure if 95 would have been.
That would have been American.
Yeah. There would have been like a dozen teams.
Yeah.
Or more. So that probably makes sense. So as we're doing this out now, so the May games are preseason, right?
Yeah, the May games there's 3 preseason weeks. So you've got the 1 game, the standalone, Sask at Calgary, preseason week 1, Monday, May 18th. Then 4 games in preseason week 2, and then 4 games in preseason week 3. And then the season will begin in the Hammer, Alouettes and Ticats at rematch of the East final on Thursday, June 4th.
Nicely done. Okay, let's see. When might we have a little lock shop bowl here? Home opener, Bombers. No, sorry. Second game. Home opener is Thursday, June 11th against the Ticats.
And then Edmonton's there on the 25th.
June 25th.
Thursday night in Winnipeg.
Oh, Bombers at Elks, Friday, October 21st.
Could be a chilly one.
That might be. And then you know what? How about this? Best case scenario, Dusty. And I will guarantee my attendance if this happens.
Okay.
So second last game of the season, Friday, October 16th. Bombers at Elks.
Yep.
Imagine if we had a Jet Oiler game on either end of that.
Well, it's on the National Hockey League now, isn't it, Huss?
It is. They're trying to needle them. That's something I'm sure they could care less about, but maybe we get lucky. The Jets and Oilers have played early in the season the last few years, and a lot of times they don't go away from the schedule too much. I mean, there's always things that change that are different.
I was just looking because Rip City Step says Dusty calling the early game and then the last game of the quadruple header on that Bell private jet between them. I already looked and I was like, I wonder if somebody could do the early game and then make it out to the late game. But the first game's in Toronto. The last game is out in Vancouver. So that's it's impossible flight wise, I think. But that would be fun to try, wouldn't it?
Man, this schedule looks weird with the unbalanced number of games, like thanks to the Argos. So the Bombers have 10 home games, right? And
oh yeah, because
road games.
Yeah.
That'll be the same with Hamilton. That'll be the same with the Riders. I wonder how the other West teams feel about that. They probably don't like it. But the Bombers start on the road. And then from June 11th to August 14th, they only have 2 road games.
From when to when?
From their home opener, June 11th.
Yeah.
Until they play in Edmonton on August 21st. There's only 2 road games for them in between there.
That's like 9 weeks.
2 buys and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home games. And then they finally get that road game on the 21st in Edmonton. Back at home against the Alouettes. And then Labor Day, 2 more home games, and then in October they'll have 3 or 4 on the road at the end, which is awesome. I mean, their last home game is October 10th, which is so good. That looks like that's probably Thanksgiving weekend as well. What stood out about the Elks schedule?
I mean, I don't know. They've got 2 stretches. I think they've got 2 stretches where they play a couple games at home in a row. But outside of that, there's no like 3 games at home in a row or anything along those lines. They got a home and home with the Riders in August, I think. Where is it here? So they go, where is that home and home? Maybe it was a little bit earlier than that. Yeah, no, sorry. It was, August, so end of July, early August. They'll go at the Riders on July 23rd. It's a Thursday. And then back at home against the Riders on Saturday, August 1st. So that's a good one. But it's a lot of on the road, then back at home. Just a couple of 2-game homestands, and that's about it for them. But they are happy that they will be starting at home. We're starting week 2. Their home opener is week 3 because they start on the road, then they have a bye, and then their home opener will actually be a 2:00 game on a Saturday. So great opportunity for families to get out to the home opener this year, and it's against Davis Alexander and the Montreal Alouettes. So that should be a lot of fun as well. So I think Chris Morris and the management team over with the Elks are probably pretty happy about that home opener.
Yeah, who with the passing of the owner, what's the latest on the team? Like, how is everything operating?
That's a good question. I mean, the Thompson family and his wife are all still sort of heavily involved in kind of running the show. So I don't know if too much has changed on that front. It's all still very, like, this is the first real off season for Chris and these guys to sort of really put their, a stranglehold on what they want to do with the organization. So we'll see what that means, moving forward for the team. But, I think they want to have 3 games next year at home where they hit 30,000 in attendance. Right. And first of all, if you're playing, if you're a better football team, then heck, maybe you get more than that. But they want to get their home opener over 30. That Riders game, which will be, I believe that'll be August long weekend now. They want that over 30. And then obviously the rematch game against Calgary, they like to hit 30,000 plus there as well. So we'll see how it goes first full year here with all the changes. With an off season leading into the entire thing as well, for Chris, and obviously the changes with the family, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we wish them well. I mean, hopefully they can build off some of that momentum last year, have a more competitive team, get to the playoffs, and start putting some more asses in seats. Have you seen the Argos schedule?
I have not looked at the Argos schedule.
Okay, without looking, what do you think the date of their first home game is?
August 20th?
August 6th.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
They've got the week 1 bye. They're at Montreal, at Ottawa, home game played in Saskatchewan, at Calgary, Stampede Bowl, home game played in Winnipeg, home game played in Hamilton, road in BC. Argo fans will be at BMO for the first time this season in week 10, August 6th, against the Calgary Stampeders.
Which will, I do believe, be a rematch of the Stampede Bowl, which is happening Thursday, July 2nd, Argos and Stamps in the
I'm pissed
in the
off
Stampede
that
Bowl.
the Bombers aren't in the Stampede Bowl again this year.
I thought maybe they'd run it back with Bombers and Stamps again in the old Stampede Bowl.
I would love that. That's every year the Bombers are in Calgary for Stampede.
That's just how it is, right? Like I would have been fine with that. Yeah, I would have been fine with that.
People out there, you'd get a lot of Winnipeg people out there.
I would have at least said that you make it one of the 2 Prairie teams, Bombers or Riders, every year.
Yeah,
for the Stampede Bowl. But they're gonna bring.
I guess Elks. I mean, you already have Labor Day.
They already have like that. Yeah, the Elks don't need to be involved in the Stampede Bowl, but I would have liked to seen it always maybe alternate between the Bombers and the Riders. Obviously, would help Calgary with the crowds there as opposed to having Toronto roll into town. But Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, CFL schedule has been released. Lots of good stuff over on the CFL website about free agency and guys who are available. And I think they're doing a pretty good job this year trying to keep people locked in with some of the free agency rankings and things that they've got going on. Huss, what do you think about Philip Rivers, my man? Signed to the practice squad earlier today at the Colts.
His first daughter, is older than a number of the starting quarterbacks in the college football playoff. She's 23 years old. He's 44, 45.
He's 44 years old right now.
I'm completely here for it. He's a psycho. I mean, the fact that he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Someone wants me to play? I'll sling it. I'm in. And he finished up in Indy. Now, is Anthony Richardson like out for the season or something?
Well, they're monitoring the leg injury with Riley Leonard. And then I was listening to a fantasy podcast yesterday morning that said they're taking a look at Anthony Richardson and his. Yeah, I believe he's. I'm not seeing any sort of update.
Like, what happened to that guy?
Is this actually what happened to him? I didn't see this, but did he get hurt by an elastic band while working out? Is that what happened with Anthony Richardson? Yeah, here it is. Baptized Big Hugh says, yeah, Richardson broke his orbital floor after a workout with an exercise band accident. So I saw those pop up on Twitter. I'm like, is this actually the real story of what's going on with Anthony Richardson?
Here's something from.
And I guess it is.
Richardson, they could use him. Okay, he's been on IR. Missed most of his rookie season, struggling, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's out with an Achilles injury, is what they've said. I mean, it's crazy. Like, there are a few teams. And I mean, I guess I'll give a pass to the Colts because they brought in Danny Jones after spending fourth overall pick on Richardson. And then they've got this Riley Leonard guy. But I mean, you look at what they have behind Danny Jones. And then, I mean, what happened to Minnesota? I mean, they brought in Carson Wentz after training camp. He wasn't there at all. Played a few games when JJ got hurt. He then goes on to IR. And I mean, their legitimate backup is Max Brosmer or whatever, who was the UDFA from Minnesota the year before. Like, there's some teams that really, really shallow quarterback rooms. Wouldn't Minshew Mania look good in one of these spots right now?
I'll hold Minshew lurking around. Somebody says, and I just saw this on Twitter. It's either Brett Rippon, Riley Leonard with a knee injury, or tell Anthony Richardson to play with an eye patch coming off the IR. Patch over the eye and go out there or start. I mean, we'll see what happens. I was just looking at Mike Garafolo, who's our NFL insider for us on Friday mornings on the Nielsen Show. His last tweet 10 minutes ago says, the next question is whether or not Philip Rivers can start right out of the gate for the Colts. Will depend on a few factors, namely how practice goes for him this week, Riley Leonard's knee injury also to be monitored, but Rivers and old friend Shane Steichen have already got to work. So they've got a relationship from the past. And is this trending towards Philip Rivers saving the Colts season after he retired in 2021, but he hasn't played since 2020. So, I mean, he hasn't thrown an NFL football in 5 years. Could you imagine if he comes back in and the Colts win 3 of 4 with him at the helm? And I don't even want to talk to all you sickos who are asking, should we put in a waiver claim for Rivers in fantasy? I mean, unless you're in a 3-quarterback league, I don't know if I'm starting Philip Rivers straight out of the retirement home. Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem. You have to be very desperate for a quarterback to put in a claim for Phillip Rivers right now.
They've lost 4 of 5 after being 7-1. They go to Seattle this weekend. They then play the Niners at home, the Jags at home, and at the Texans. I do worry about Phillip. I do worry. Like,
well, I hope he comes
good
back, and if he does play, he can get through these 4 games healthy. Like, that would suck if you come back and something significant happens.
You would not want him to miss any time next season.
La Bamba guy over in the YouTube chat says, I already put in claims for him in my 32-man league. All right, so there you go. That's the latest in the National Football League. Hush, should we take a look at the NHL slate tonight or what?
Just quickly finishing up football.
Yeah.
Ontario Wilson
yes.
signed with the Bombers.
Cody Fajardo got another year with the Elks this morning too.
Yeah, did they say anything on a number for Cody?
I don't think I've seen the number. It was happening. I saw it was announced while we were in power failure mode here after lock shop sabotage. I have not yet seen a number on it. Let me see what this Dunk story has to say. I wonder if Dunk got the number on it yet. No numbers on it yet. I'm interested to see what it is. What would you ballpark it at, do you think? Somewhere just over 300?
Oh, I think it's more than that.
You think it's more than that?
What do you mean? He's a starting quarterback in the CFL.
Yeah, but
that's the free agency.
Well, but where was he going to go? Like, I don't think there was a market for Cody. You know what I mean? Like, where else was he going to go? Who would they have been negotiating against? Bo's a free agent. He's going to stay in Hamilton. I think most other teams already have their quarterback. 300 is more than he was making after he reworked his deal last year. Maybe it's high 300s. Maybe it's like 375. Maybe it's 400 with the cap going up. Maybe. I just don't know if there'd be I just don't know how much negotiating power he had, I guess.
Well, I mean, even if he wanted to retire, I mean, that's negotiating.
Yeah. Okay. The retirement argument's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to come back. Like, where would that leave the Elks if Cody Fajardo wasn't signed? I'm going to say this right now. The over-under on this is starting with a 4. Like,
I don't think it'll be much over 4, but you might be right. It might be over 4.
Yeah.
It might be 4 right on the nose, actually.
Well, that'll be the over-under. So we'll see.
Okay, we'll set the over-under at 4 mil. Or a 400,000, not 4 mil. 400,000. Yeah, we'll see where that ends up. Ontario Wilson. What he get 3 years? Hey, Huss? 26, 27, and 28.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Talented young receiver. He's sticking around.
We went over the free agency list on the Nielson show yesterday, and we were looking at it. Dembski's a free agent. He's not leaving, right? Dembski's going to be staying in Winnipeg. Brady Oliveira probably staying in Winnipeg, I would think as well. Like, they pay these guys. You think Brady has an appetite to leave? I mean, just for argument's sake, Huss, I will say this. James Butler's a free agent in BC. Buck Pierce is there. Dedrick Mills is a free agent in Calgary. If I was Calgary, I'd probably keep Dedrick Mills. But there's a little bit of there could be a bit of a window at running back in a few spots around the league, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It would seem, I mean, the fact of the matter is that the Bombers look like they're changing their OC, which I think is going to placate many of the players that were a little bit frustrated under the Jason Hogan year. And I mean, for Brady, and listen, I get this. This is really for any player. The window is so short. You don't want to leave money on the table, especially in the running back position. But he really wants to win. Now, it would be a bad look for Winnipeg if he went somewhere else for the same money because he thought he had a better chance to win. Like, I do think that his marketability is way more here than it would be in any other market because he's a hometown guy, because the Bombers have done so well. Like, I would think that off the field, there's a big advantage to being here in Winnipeg. But he was injured when they won their last Grey Cup. And as a starter, he's 0-3. Then they had that rough season last year. I'm not guaranteeing that he's back. I would say it's probably more likely than not.
Yeah.
Nick Dembski, I don't think there's any way they let him leave, like, period. He'll get a bit of a raise and he'll be here. And, I mean, he's going to probably – he just had a second kid. He's from here. Like, that's not happening. But Brady, I think they are going to have to pay the man, as they say. And they did 2 years ago, but I think there was a little element of maybe taking a bit less to stay within a team that was right there in their window of winning. So there's a lot. By the way, Maverick 1979X Elks better than Bombers. I like it. Let's get the.
I'd be here for that rivalry, man. If we can get that, that'd make great things for the lock shop. And
it would be so good.
A little lopsided lately.
Return to the CFL and be a team that could be a playoff team.
One more quick one on the CFL and free agency. It was a little ways away, but they had that top list, and we were talking about like the Elks have Dunbar. They re-signed Julian Grant, but I think one of their big priorities should be try to land a receiver. And we were talking about some of the other markets, and I'm like, because with the Riders, Emilus is a free agent, Keyshawn Johnson's a free agent, Dante Myers is a free agent. Like, that's their three best receivers. And will they keep two of them? Maybe they'll keep two of them, but there could be one big name in Saskatchewan that kind of ends up somewhere in the market. And I was looking at Calgary's going to get Reggie Begelton back from injury. They brought in Don Rhymes last year. They got Philpott. If they can keep Alfred, they're pretty good. We know what BC has in Hatcher and Justin McInnes. They're signed already. And I was like, okay, well, who else would be bidding maybe with the Elks? So they're going to keep Ontario Wilson. They're going to bring Dembski back. But would the Bombers not still be looking to add a pretty significant piece at receiver too? Like Justin Hardy's a free agent. Tim White is a free agent. Their better years might be somewhat behind him, but those guys can still play. So I would think both Edmonton and Winnipeg are probably in the market for at least one pretty good receiver.
I'm telling you right now, one of those Sask guys is going to get an extra 15, 20K from the Bombers.
Yeah, I think so.
To pop across. I mean, it sounds very weird, but I mean, they're the champs right now.
Well, that was a stacked receiver group too, man.
They won the Grey Cup. They're going to have a tough time paying and keeping them all. And there's nothing that Winnipeg would love more than to take one of their big impact players and have them in blue for those games on Labor Day and in the rematch in the Banjo Bowl. So I do think, and I guess we've got the question of Dalton Schoen. Like, they love him. But, I mean, he's played, 5 games in the last 2 seasons?
I mean, he's a talented dude, but, man, he can't stay healthy at all.
Well, and that's the thing. And that's why I think you might see a contract that he comes back to Winnipeg and it's maybe the base salary is a lot less.
Bonus-laden contract?
Yeah. Ability to, games played, some things, because I don't think there's anyone that's going to be out there throwing 200 plus at him just because he hasn't been able to play.
26 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. He's played 8 games since then.
8 games.
Like that's tough. That's two touchdowns this year before he got hurt.
As they say.
Yeah, that's a big one. You're right. All right, let's get over to the National Hockey League. I got some starting goalies for you tonight. We got about maybe 10 minutes until we got to get Huss over to Winnipeg Sports Talk. If you want to chime in over in the chat, you can hammer the thumbs up for us. Feel free to hit us up in the chat there. You can text us if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart today as well. All right, here we go. Philadelphia at home tonight. They're against the San Jose Sharks. It'll be Vladar for the Flyers, Nedeljkovic for San Jose. Sorokin listed as likely for the Islanders tonight. Vegas is in town there. Akira Schmid is listed as unconfirmed. It'll be Linus Ullmark for the Sens. They are at home against the New Jersey Devils. Markstrom will go for the Devils. Sheloffs will get the net for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Pittsburgh is hosting the Anaheim Ducks. Nothing confirmed there for the Ducks, but Ville Husso is listed as unconfirmed. Dobush will go for the Habs. Tampa Bay, second half of a back-to-back there after playing against Toronto last night. Brandon Halverson, the listed unconfirmed starter for the Lightning at this point. Carolina will go with Bussy between the pipes. Jet Greaves for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dallas and Winnipeg. Oh, that's a big one. Can't wait to talk about that. Comrie and DeSmith. Hofer for the Blues tonight at home against the Bruins. Swayman unconfirmed at this point. Stuart Skinner will start for the Oilers. It'll likely be Lime for the Sabres. And then UC Saros is unconfirmed for Nashville. They are at home tonight against the Colorado Avalanche and Mackenzie Blackwood. It will be going in that game. There's your starting goaltenders, or at least what we know from the starting goaltender conversation for tonight's games. Huss, what jumps off the page for you?
Well, obviously, we're locked in on this game here in Winnipeg.
That's a big one.
Full line blender out right now. Anyone that's been at all paying attention to this team and seeing how much they've played as of late knew that they were going to get smoked on Saturday in Edmonton. They had the day off. They came back, full day of practice. They've moved. Taves is on the fourth line on the wing right now. Adam Lowry is playing with Nino Niederreiter, and they've moved Gabe Velarde off the top line to try to get that line going. Seems like sort of a half measure. If they wanted to split that top line up, I think you need to do it with Connor personally. Keep Velarde with Scheifele. But we will see. What's really interesting about that is, like, we're used to when Winnipeg and Dallas are playing, you know that it's going to be Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger going at it. Comrie and DeSmith. And I think it speaks to where the Jets are, that this is the spot that Dallas is going to go with their backup. And again, they're trying to find their way right now. This week for the Jets, it could set the tone for the entire rest of the season. And we know where they are.
Good
right
or
now.
bad.
One game above 500. Yeah, absolutely. Dallas tonight, Boston Thursday, Washington Saturday, Ottawa Monday. 4 straight home games. Day off in between each one. No back-to-backs. If they want to be above 500 when Hellebuck comes back, I would say at a minimum, they have to get 5 of the 8 points over the course of this one. And this is going to be a really, really tough game. So listen, it's very hard to back the Jets right now, even as a home dog in the division, because of where they're playing. I'm hoping that does come to fruition. The Bruins, who we're going to see on Thursday, are in St. Louis to take on the Blues. Find it interesting. Boston's plus 110, the way they played so far this year. St. Louis has been, I think they got a 2-1 win in Ottawa in their last time out.
Why is Bob? I got Boston at plus 116. Why are the
plus 116?
Has St. Louis turned it around here? What's going on?
No, what was the goaltending matchup in that game?
Well, it said Swayman was unconfirmed. Hofer's going to go for the Blues, which doesn't really matter because Binnington's been awful anyway.
Yeah, Hofer's been better.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling up their last. I guess they've won 2 in a row. They beat the Sens and beat the Habs on the road. But they lost to the Bruins just a week ago in Boston 5-2. So I don't have
this
a lot
seems
of
like a pretty good number on the Bruins, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And the Bruins have been a team that's really made a lot happen this year. Huge game for Ottawa tonight. Ottawa's lost 4 of 5. They were the only Canadian team in the playoffs, and now they're right there with everyone else. Is there any Canadian teams in the playoffs right now? Are the Oilers?
Oilers are in a playoff spot right now. Yeah.
They're in a wild card.
Unless things changed last night, but I was prepping for the show last night. They were a second wild card, first wild card now. They are heating up. They're at 31 points, tied with San Jose and Utah. They all have 31 points. The top 6 right now in the West, a little bit of separation there. Colorado's got 48 points. Dallas is 45. Minnie's got 37. The Ducks have 37. Golden Knights have 36. Kings have 35. And then you get down to Edmonton 31, San Jose 31, Utah 31, Chicago 30, Winnipeg and St. Louis both at 29.
Yeah, and the thing with the Jets is that they've got games in hand on all of those teams, which doesn't mean anything if you don't win them. But, as they say, I try not to look like, let's just look at the records as opposed to 500. Oilers are plus 2, San Jose's plus 1, Utah's even, Blackhawks plus 1, Jets plus 1, and then Blues minus 1, Seattle plus 1. Seattle's only played 27 games. They've lost 6 in a row, though. That's not good. And then obviously Calgary, Vancouver, and Nashville. So basically from Edmonton at 2 games over to Winnipeg at 1, you've got 5 teams.
Yeah, it's tight in there.
I think that's probably going to be what this battle is. Now, if the Oil can go on our run, maybe we see LA or Vegas pop back into a wild card spot. But realistically, I think that Edmonton is going to get in, and whether they're the wild card or whether they're in the Pacific,
2 or 3 seed or something, yeah.
They're there. So, like the plight, if you're a fan of Winnipeg, Blackhawks, Utah, San Jose, St. Louis, that is the group right there that I think is going to be fighting for the second wild card. Unless something like the Minnesota Wild going into the tank and then, kind of coming back to the pack. But there's no way Edmonton doesn't make it, which means that these 5 teams are all battling for that final spot. But back to tonight's game, this is a huge game for Ottawa. They were, what did you say that they were on the money line?
They're minus 147 at home against the Devils here.
I'd like a shorter number, to be honest with you, the way that they've been playing, but I do sort of like them to come up big. What do we think about Vegas, who's won 4 in a row and just started their road trip with 3-0 win, a 3-0 win against the Devils, 3-2 against the Rangers. They now are on Long Island tonight they are favored.
Yeah, they're minus 139. I mean, it's not much of a different number from Ottawa at minus 147.
What about Tampa on the second in a back-to-back? Do they go in and get a win? Are we worried about that? I mean, the way the Habs have been playing, the Habs are kind of run and gun, and it's all fun, but they haven't been great as of late. They got that win over they've got 2 shootout wins.
Yeah, back-to-back shootout wins recently, right?
Yeah, Winnipeg and Toronto.
And then the loss to St. Louis 2 nights ago. I mean, it could be a good bounce-back spot there for Tampa. What'd you say, Vegas had won 4 in a row?
Yeah, Vegas has won 4 in a row in the first 2 games on this road trip.
Is this a 4th? How many games? Let's see here. Man, every time I accidentally click on I try to click on NHL scores and matchups. I like going to covers and seeing a lot of stuff. I accidentally click on MLB and it just takes me back to Game 7 of the World Series. Must happen twice a day. It just pops back up. You see their Dodgers signed Diaz too? Best closer on the market. Ridiculous.
I found out about that by scrolling my Twitter and seeing Frank the Tank being informed of it in real time that his Mets had lost Diaz to the Dodgers, and he went predictably absolutely
bonkers. Yeah, I mean, Vegas, I was just wanting to see if this was like 3 and 4 nights or something because they're on the road, but it's not. They've only played actually 3 games in like the last 7 days. So it's not a bad spot for Vegas there, buddy. I'd be okay with throwing Vegas into something.
All right, now who's the underdog that's winning tonight?
Well, I think the best one is the Bruins at plus 116.
Yeah.
It's not Nashville. It's not going to be Buffalo. Stay away from this Dallas-Winnipeg game. Carolina's at home against Columbus. I mean, the Ducks at plus 107 against Pittsburgh.
That's the other one that I was thinking of.
What do you like more, Boston or Dallas? Or Boston or Anaheim?
What do I like better, Boston or Anaheim? First came out on the road for Boston starting this road trip. I kind of like both of them. Well, what about you? Do you have a lean either way?
I think I'd probably lean Boston. But if you like both of them, we could just go. Well, if we like Vegas and we like Ottawa, then we really only need one of them. I mean, I'd probably lean towards the Bruins, but it doesn't matter to me, man. You make the call on that one. Ducks or Bruins?
Yeah, I'm with the Bruins. That was our first one.
Yeah.
The number seems to be real good.
Gets us to plus 524 on Vegas, Ottawa, and Boston. So let's do that. What's coming up on WST, Huss?
Well, we're going to get ready for this game tonight, get the latest on the Dallas Stars with Owen Newkirk. We'll hear from Coach Scott Arniel and more. We're going to dive into the Bomber schedule and hit the Bomber off season with Jeff Hamilton. And then look ahead to the World Junior Championships. The roster's been named to the players, a couple Manitobans on it, including one draft eligible kid that I don't think was in the mix at the beginning of the year. We're going to find out about them and then just count down to game time tonight.
Excellent, buddy. You have fun with that, and we will we'll chat with you tomorrow, Ben.
You got it, man. Take it easy.
All right, there you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Lots of good CFL talk on the show today. Absolutely love that. I just sent that little parlay over. Golden Knights, Senators, and Bruins. You know what else I don't hate tonight? Might throw another ticket on just on my own. Oilers money line, Avs money line, and there's another one that I had. Oh, and Stars. Sorry to the Jets fans. Huss is gone now, I guess. Maybe I could say that. Stars money line, Oilers money line, Avs money line. What would that get us? Just let's say we just do it on our own here. Avs, Oilers, Stars, plus 276. Not a huge number, but still. Or if you just want to go Oilers and Avs on just an Oilers and Avs straight up. Let's use our game sense here for a second. Oilers and Avs, plus 118. Colorado's in Nashville. Oilers are home against the Sabres, and that's a pretty nice 118. Anyway, use the code EST Sports, deposit 50, get $50 free bet with our title sponsor over at Play Alberta. That is going to do it for the Lock Shop today. We pushed through despite being sabotaged by some sort of combination of Gager and Wannick. The Lock Shop lives on another day. Can you believe it? We've got two guys in the goalie coming up with myself, Matt Cassidy and Joaquin Gage, setting up the Oilers and the Sabres tonight. We will get into that coming up. Thank you very much for joining us on the Lock Shop today. Best of luck tonight, and we will talk to you tomorrow.